Hey guys, happy Monday and welcome to the weekly wellness challenge where we discuss a specific topic and an associated action you can take every day that week. So why do we do that? Because the journey starts with the present moment. What can you do today to have the best day possible and be the best you can be? So today's weekly wellness challenge is all about forgiveness. So first, let's start with defining forgiveness. My favorite definition of forgiveness is how Oprah describes it. She says, "Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different." Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that it could have been any other way than it actually was. And a lot of people mistake and think that forgiving equals accepting that it was okay for someone to have done what they did to you. It was okay for someone to have hurt you. But that's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is accepting that the thing did happen. Not that it was okay for it to happen, but that it did happen and that you cannot change the past. For example, if someone says something mean to you, forgiving them doesn't mean that you're saying it was okay for them to say that mean thing to you. You're just saying that you accept that they were mean to you and neither you nor them can change it. But and now by forgiving, you can actually focus on taking some sort of action, right? You can talk to them about it or let them go if it's a repeating pattern. But the point is, when you forgive, you accept that you can change the past, and it allows you to move beyond that negative, murky mindset and move to a clear, grounded, level-headed place where you can take an action that betters your life and moves it forward. And that's why it's so important to forgive, because holding a grudge and not forgiving is ultimately only plaguing you, not them, not nobody else. It's only plaguing you. It's clouding your mind with repetitive and negative thoughts, not theirs. And holding a grudge, as Oprah says, is allowing the other person and the past to hold you prisoner, to hold you hostage. It's only ruining your life, not anybody else's, not the person that hurt you. So this week, the challenge for each day is to practice forgiveness. Again, forgiveness equals giving up the hope that the past could be any different. Forgiveness equals accepting the past for what it is, accepting that you cannot change it. So in other words, forgiveness equals acceptance, non-forgiveness equals resistance. Simple as that. And in previous videos, we've discussed how non-forgiveness and resistance is the root cause of suffering. It changes nothing, and it ultimately just leaves you unhappy. So, not forgiving is just a disguise for resistance. It's another form of resistance to what is. And as we know, resistance is a futile endeavor. So if something less than ideal happens this week, whether it's caused by another person or the environment, let's say it was raining and you wanted to go on a picnic, or technology, your computer crashes in the middle of an important meeting. Practice acceptance, not resistance. Choose to forgive. Choose to accept that it happened, let it go, and commit to taking an action that betters your life. Because holding a grudge ruins your life. It keeps you sitting in a pool of negative thoughts and energy. It clouds your mind and prevents you from being able to think clearly and make the right decision to move forward. So that's this week's wellness challenge, all about forgiveness. And I'd love to hear if you guys have any questions or thoughts on forgiveness, how it's helped you move forward in your life to be able to forgive and not hold a grudge. Looks like we do have some questions. But if you forgive too quickly, won't the other person think it's okay what they did to you, that it wasn't that bad what they did to you? So actually, I'm really glad that's a really great question, and it's a very common question. And I think my answer would start by saying that it's not the length of time that you're holding a grudge against someone. I've heard people say, putting someone in the doghouse. It's not the length of time that you keep someone in the doghouse that lets them know that they hurt you, right? What's going to let them know, and assuming this is a good person and someone that cares about you and you care about them, is honestly they probably didn't even know that they hurt you. So what's going to help you move forward is explaining to that person, right, that they hurt you, explaining where you're coming from, explaining why it hurt you, because we're all different people, and two different people can react to the same stimulus in very different ways because we all have different past experiences. So they might not have even known that what they said or did hurt you. But again, in order to be able to move to that place where you can actually have a positive discussion with them and explain to them that they hurt you, you have to forgive. Because if you're stuck in that state of not forgiveness, you won't be able to move forward and actually take that positive action, which in this case would be having a discussion with them and explaining to them that they hurt you. Okay, it looks like we have kind of a follow-up question. What if someone cheats on you? That doesn't really need explaining. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that in that case, that is an action that is kind of universally known to be hurtful. So in that case, I mean, the answer is still the same, right? Is that in that case, the action that you might need to take is different, right? It won't be a discussion. It won't be a positive kind of discussion or explanation to the other person. In this case, the action might be, whether you want to work through it and, come out on the other side in that relationship, or, you're going to call it quits, right? Those are the actions. But again, to move towards knowing what action you need to take and to move forward and better your life, you need to forgive. Because when you're in that place of non-forgiveness, it's the repetitive and negative thoughts that are just, you cannot make a clear decision in that place. You need to move through to the area of forgiveness where your mind is clear and level-headed and grounded, and you can decide to take that positive action that moves your life forward. And I want to say, especially with both of these questions that were asked, that again, forgiveness is not, what it is and what it isn't. It's not accepting that what the person did was okay. It's accepting that you cannot change it, and it's the past, you can't change it. You let it go, and you stop being a prisoner to your past. So it's do it for yourself, not for the other person. So any more questions on forgiveness, what forgiveness means, any specific examples? It looks like those are the questions we have. So if you have any more questions, if you think of anything about forgiveness after this Instagram Live, feel free to message me, or I'm going to post the live replay tomorrow as always. And please comment, with your thoughts, with your questions, share your progress on the live, on the video replay, so that other members of the community can see and we can all learn from each other. So that's this week's wellness challenge. Remember, every day this week, practice forgiveness. And that's what I got for you today, folks. And remember, as always, make today your favorite day. Thank you, and see you next Monday.